What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host and captain, Garrett Morlang, and here in the studio with me is...
This week, I'll be playing the part of J.J. Purdom all week.
Just this week?
Yeah, next week, we'll see.
Get a replacement for you?
Yeah.
I have been thinking about replacing you, but that's not what I meant. I didn't mean like getting a new actor to be you. I just actually thinking of just getting a whole new co-host, but...
I thought that was always kind of like one of those funny bits that we played on the show where we kind of like, we joked, about how you wanted to replace me and how I'm dumb. And I keep expecting you to pull back on the joke and just be like, hey, man, I'm always just joking. You've never said that to me once, Garrett?
I like the suspense of it. I like to keep you on your toes, because you never know. You never know because I won't tell you. You'll never know if you're safe or not.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to have to trust that you're going to make a good decision and keep a person in your employ that happens to love you very much, man, like a brother.
Yeah. Like
a much older, much better looking brother.
Yeah.
Like a lot better looking.
Some people say that.
Well, pretty much most people say that.
Okay.
Yeah. What I always hear them say about you is, a mite too skinny, they say. Looks like he needs to eat, is some other things that I've seen in writing on the interwebs.
Okay.
Mostly it's from my family. My family just says he looks really hungry. Feed him, please.
I am very hungry a lot of times.
Yeah.
The other night, we were sitting on the couch, and it was late. I got it, and out of nowhere, I'm like, oh, man, I'm starving. Like, we had dinner. We already had something like to snack on. We were watching a TV show, and I just looked over at my wife. I'm like, I'm hungry. She's like, well, go get something. I'm like, no. I'm really hungry. She's like, go get something. I'm like, can you go get something?
Oh,
please.
That doesn't happen.
Please.
That doesn't happen.
And you know what she said? No, you go get something.
I was going to say, so which one of the Real Housewives were you guys watching?
Real Housewives of Stanislaus County.
Nice. I have not seen that one. Is that one on True TV?
No, it's only on the local antenna station.
We just look out the window and watch the neighbors.
Yeah, it's just, but no, it was, and then I was just so tired and lazy. I didn't end up getting a snack. I went to bed hungry.
Oh man, you're a martyr, man. You're just carrying the whole world on your shoulders. What a troubled life you lead. I didn't get my snack,
Starving.
Dude. Like, there was a pudding pop with my name on it, dude.
No, I wish. I have no food.
She doesn't let me have pudding. Right?
How's your week been?
My week has been pretty good. You folks are not here to watch and or listen to us talk about pudding pops, although they are really, really good. What you are here is to listen to us talk about video games and nerd culture. And as far as how I'm doing fairly well. I made it through the weekend. I'm doing pretty good, and by the time this podcast drops, it's what we like to call in the business Hump Day. And the reason that they did that was because General Hump of the United States military, he claimed that day for his own, Wednesdays, as Hump Day.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that. That was back in the big war, the giant war.
The big one.
The larger of the wars.
Yeah.
That have transpired and amongst our culture's great history. Yeah.
Cool.
Long live Hump Day.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, you're welcome. Read a book.
So there's a gift here for you that we're going to have you open on air. Do you want to give it a peek? You want to read what it says? Who's it from?
To JJ. From Mr. Morlang.
Huh, interesting.
So
not me.
I assume this is you. No, okay.
From my father.
So we're talking.
You can call me Garrett. Mr. Morlang's my dad.
Hi, Mr. Morlang. Mr. Morlang is, of course, Garrett's father, Bill. Bill is an awesome man whom I love and respect very much. And he is married to an absolutely incredible woman by the name of Mrs. Morlang. I don't think she has a first name. I think everybody just calls her Mrs. Morlang. So, Mr. Morlang, sir, thank you for the gift, and we will make sure that we open this off air. And
no. You gotta open it on air.
What if it's a bomb, Garrett? Your dad is probably trying to kill me
why would it
because
be a bomb?
Grammy is his mom, and I've said some really inappropriate things. And this is what I'm thinking: is look, Bill, Mr. Morling. I'll just call you Mr. Morling. If that's is it okay for me to call him Mr. Morling?
In this case, I think it's better.
I think it probably is a whole lot better, sir. I want you to know that I love you very much, man. I know I've only met you the once, but I know I felt it. I felt like this awesome kindred spirit when I hugged you and you tried to pull away uncomfortably and had that grimace on your face. But I recognized the deep friendship that we were creating right then. Yeah. So I open this with total faith that it's not going to be a bomb. And it's not going to be some other type of incendiary device.
Don't say bomb too many times. YouTube's going to flag our video or something.
Okay. All right. To JJ from Mr. Morlang. Is that fair?
I don't like this. I don't like that you're putting it so close to me.
Well, obviously, you don't have any trust in your father. No faith.
Well, you never know with him. You never know. Easy.
Dude, seriously, I am completely worried that something's going to jump out at me.
Easy, gentle.
It's a mogwai.
That would be sweet.
Awesome.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. You know who would be feeding him after midnight and getting water on him and stuff like that. Okay, it's a cup. It's a coffee cup with our faces on it.
Heck yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Mr. Morlang, I never doubted you for a moment, sir. That is awesome. It says Super Gamer Boys right there.
I have one of my
Whoa, we've got two of them. I thought for sure he loves me more than you, and I thought you would never get one. Mr. Morlang, thank you, sir. That's awesome. I'll be drinking coffee.
Cheers.
Thinking about I was so worried about it busting right now.
Yeah, great quality mugs. Get them on supergamerboys.com/merch.
That is absolutely incredible. Thank you, Bill. That was really sweet of you.
Yeah, this was for our 1 year birthday. They were supposed to show up before last week's episode, but they showed up like the next day. So
fantastic. I promise you that I'm going to be drinking some good hot liquid beverages.
Our faces right there. So
you notice how mine is much better looking than Garrett's?
If you're right-handed,
even in animated.
Right-handed, you get a good, staring you right down in the face. If you're left-handed, you get to look at our sweet logo on there. So, yeah, go check those out. supergamerboys.com/merch. And thanks, Pops, for the sweet mugs.
Very much. That's awesome, man. Yeah. Very cool. All right, we'll put that there.
Aren't you thankful that you listened to me, that you trusted me? I'm using mine, so don't touch mine.
But I was going to turn it so they face that sweet logo back over at the camera so people that are watching it visually go, wow, those are incredible mugs with faces that I don't really recognize of a show that I probably don't listen to and or watch. But man, I would really love to drink a hot liquid beverage out of that thing. Where, pray tell, Mr. Garrett Morlang, can we find these cups that Bill Morlang just recently ordered online?
Well, I've already said it twice, but
let's say it one more
supergamerboys.com/merch.
You see, folks, I'm not professional.
I'll tell you what. I give it a 10 out of 10 for drinkability. I can drink this water real good out of it. So.
He's a real good drinker, he is.
Holds water real well. No leaks or anything. So, yeah.
That's spectacular, man.
This is a little belated birthday present.
That's awesome. I was going to say, it was just my birthday, too. That's awesome. I'm going to definitely be drinking some coffee out of it. I wish I had coffee right now.
Well,
probably should
have stopped at Starbucks on the way.
Reach out to Trudy and have her go in there and get me some coffee, just like you were telling her, go and get you a snack, right? Actually, this one time, I was coming over to Garrett's house.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he accidentally invited me over. It was like a whole thing. And he made the mistake of saying, Trudy makes this great coffee. Did you want some coffee? And I was like, dude, I love coffee. So then, that poor woman.
No.
Hey, let me tell the story. I'm really good at storytelling.
Just one little detail I remember is you were on your way and you called me and you're like, man, I'm really tired. Can you make me some coffee?
Oh my gosh, I would never say that.
That's what I remember.
No, I said I need to get coffee.
And then I proceeded to say the things about my wife, how amazing her coffee is. But you definitely asked, you initiated.
I do remember you saying, oh man, she has this awesome French press. And I was like,
AeroPress.
What is
it's
that?
Even better.
What is that? And you were like, oh man, it's where they decimate the molecules and they kill 3 midgets in order to be able to make that cup of coffee. And I was like, whoa, I gotta have this midget coffee. And I don't know if he really called it midget coffee. I might have just made that part
I definitely did not. No,
I'm pretty sure he uses that word like all the time.
Okay. Well, what do you say we give our Patreon supporters a shout out here?
Please.
If you really like what we do and you can ignore half the things that JJ says, go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can support us over there, just like our Patreon producer, Matt Liu, and then our Patreon sponsors, Bill Bird and Julie Bates.
Matt, Bill, and Julie, thank you for your support. That is all.
Oh, okay.
I'm turning over a new leaf, Garrett.
Interesting.
I'm trying to be professional.
Turn of events there.
And not talk about the awesome party where the 3 of them and me got together and did a bunch of Coke. It was awesome. We had a sweet Coke party over the weekend.
Oh, no.
Well, because what had happened was they were wanting to bring in Pepsi, but I said, no, Coke is the choice of a new generation.
I'm more of a Pepsi guy, but...
No, you know what? I am more of a Pepsi guy. Oh, we didn't do Coke. And Pepsi is the choice of a new generation. I'm so sorry. I got confused.
Guess we're never going to get sponsored by Pepsi or Coke. Darn.
Sorry
you
to ruin your dreams, Garrett.
You burned that bridge. If you didn't know already, we're also part of the HP Video Game Podcast Network. If you go to Twitter, you can look us up there. If you go to iTunes or the Apple Podcast app, you can type in HP Video Game Podcast Network, and you can find not only our podcast, but all the other podcasts on the network. So that's kind of a cool feature. So just go to Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast, and you should just be able to type in HP Video Game Podcast Network.
There's numerous podcasts on that network that we're a part of that are so good at video games, and I'll just be completely honest. They are better than us. Every one of them are. They're all smarter than us.
No, yeah, they're definitely smarter.
Yeah, like a lot smarter.
I feel like we got the more entertaining one.
Oh, no, without a doubt. And I will probably get in a lot of trouble and probably be asked to leave the podcast network now. But no, definitely the very best. But I just feel like they're a lot smarter than us. Like all of them
100%.
are smarter than us. Like I've listened to like every other podcast, and I'm like, ooh, like it. Ooh, like it. Ooh, I like it. That's the thing. I have not disliked any of the podcasts on the HP Video Game Podcasting Network. They're all fantastic. And I just listen to them and I go, wow, they're so much smarter than us. We don't sound very bright. But I will give us that. We're pretty darn entertaining.
We try.
Yep.
We try. Also, if you didn't know, if you listen to this audio form, we have a YouTube channel, supergamerboys.com/YouTube. You can see our faces while we're doing this. That whole unboxing of the mug would, be a lot more entertaining, I'm sure, on video than it did on audio.
I promise you, I didn't make it that much more entertaining. It really wasn't.
And then, like we said, we have, you know what? I think earlier I said supergamerboys.com/merch. That is not our website. I said that like 3 times. It's supergamerboys.com/store.
See why I was telling him to do it? And he's like, I already did it a couple times, but okay. See? Because I knew internally in my heart.
JJ's a professional here, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
said no one ever.
Supergamerboys.com/store. Sorry about that. You know what? I think it's time for the nerdy nudes.
It's time for the nerdy news.
Alrighty, we have, I don't even know how many stories we have.
87 stories.
To be honest, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
87.
I have like 6 articles on here, but 4 of them are kind of about the same thing. So what do you say we get down to it?
Get it. Let's get it.
So this first one, we're just going to hit on because it was actually updated over the weekend a little bit. But originally, this news story came out last week, November 11th. That was the day we recorded, but I think it didn't come out until... I didn't see it until after we recorded. So unfortunately, we didn't talk about last week, which seems to be the way things go. Like as we're recording, after we finish, I go up and look at the news. I'm like, oh, dang it.
That's when all the big stuff hits.
Everything happens like while we're recording or right like the day after, like Tuesdays. It's like, dang it. Like it always works out that way. So originally, news story came out that Google Stadia is just going to launch with 12 games. And looking at this Polygon article by Mike McWhirter over there, the subtitle is "There's a lot of Tomb Raider on day one." So basically, there was 12 games, and they are as follows: Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Destiny 2: The Collection, Guilt, Just Dance 2020, Kine, Mortal Kombat 11, Red Dead Redemption 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Samurai Showdown, Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Thumper, and Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. So 3 Tomb Raider games.
Wow.
And then 9 other games that are all very old. I think the newest one was maybe, let's see, Mortal Kombat. Well, Just Dance 2020, I think, just came out like a couple months ago. But everything else is like old games. Yeah. So people, and I, honestly, I think rightfully so, they were pretty upset on the social media, on the social meds. I haven't used that in a while. People were pretty pissed because obviously for a while, like Google Stadia has been really out there pimping their stuff. Like, it's going to be amazing. We're going to have all this stuff day one. It's going to be awesome. This is going to be the place to play. It's going to replace your console. It's going to be a console killer, all this stuff. Like, they've been pretty hardcore about their messaging with that.
I'm almost embarrassed to say how excited we were when the announcement was made.
Yeah, we were pretty stoked. And then they're like, oh, but there's only going to be 12 games at launch. And then this popped out just last night as a recording, so Sunday night? Yeah, Sunday night at like 7:15 p.m. In what I think is like the biggest like backtrack ever. Like, Google's like, oh shoot, like we got to do something here. Google Stadia adds 10 more games to its launch. So it launches, I mean, as for us today, it'll be tomorrow, but when this actually comes out on podcast and YouTube, it'll be yesterday. So you guys are already living in a world that has Google Stadia. We're just living in a world where only like big review websites and stuff have gotten Google Stadia. The main public did not have access yet. So they're adding 10 new games at launch, and they are as follows, or 10 more on top of that 12. So 22 in total. They are Attack on Titan Final Battle 2, Farming Simulator 2019, Final Fantasy 15, Football Manager 2020, Grid 2019, Metro Exodus, NBA 2K20, Rage 2, Trials Rising, and then Wolfenstein. I don't know why my brain just went like totally broke there. Wolfenstein, Youngblood. There we go. So those are the 10 games that they added. Still not great.
No. I mean, I wouldn't call any of those games bad necessarily.
I mean, Rage 2 and Wolfenstein Youngblood, I think, are the 2 newest games. They both came out this year, at least. They came out back in the spring, right? Or Wolfenstein Youngblood came out over the summer, but Rage 2 was that the springtime it came out?
I think it was like spring,
like early summer or something like that. Early summer.
I would say that none of the games that they're bringing that they've added, and none of the games that they already announced, none of them are bad per se.
No,
I think it all comes down to just age and the fact that none of them are new and fresh. And with Google Stadia coming out, one of the ideas was everybody thought it was going to be a console killer, going to be this awesome new thing. We were included in that.
Whoa. I don't know if everyone thought it was going to be a console. Google thought they were going to be the console killer. Mm-hmm. I don't think the general public always has been kind of, the general public has been stoked for streaming technology, but I don't know if there's necessarily been a trust in it. Like, people have still been skeptical, but I think what makes it worse is just how over the moon Google has been about it. Like, that, yeah, we are going to be the ones, like, we're going to kill it. And then for them to come out this way, like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. But
yeah. It's not a good start to this Google Stadia service coming out.
It's not a great start.
Do we have any idea? I mean, I know a lot of people who are like YouTube contributors and stuff, partners. I know that when they've had a lot of videos, a lot of the people that are famous for video game stuff have said, we canceled our pre-order. So I don't know, is that still a thing where a lot of people are...
So let's get to this next news story, because just because there was only going to be 12 games at launch, that didn't cause people to cancel their pre-orders. What caused people to cancel their pre-orders, and not everyone was, like, it was just like people here and and that's the thing, a lot of the influencers, like, didn't cancel their pre-orders because obviously they have websites and YouTube channels that they have to sustain somehow. So a lot of people are still getting it. It's more like, like I was listening to Kind of Funny Games Daily last week, and Gary Whitta, famous for, his movie Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One. He was hosting
that little old thing.
He was hosting on there, and he was contemplating like on air, like I might cancel my pre-order, but it was all because of this news story here. Google confirms, this is from Kotaku by Ethan Getch. This is a headline. Google confirms all the stuff Stadia won't have at launch. Not a great start.
That's a horrible article.
So here we go. Ahead of Stadia's launch next week, Google representatives fielded questions during an AMA on Reddit. For people who don't know what AMA stands for, like some of the co-hosts that may or may not be in the room, that means Ask Me Anything. About what exactly the video game streaming service will include in the beginning, the answer is not much. The whole thread was a good reminder that much of Stadia remains as theoretical as it seemed when it was originally pitched during its reveal at Google's GDC 2019 press conference. Also, a lot of its features are slated to arrive sometime next year rather than November 19th when the service goes live. Here's a quick rundown of everything that won't be available initially. Stream Connect, State Share, and Crowd Play. So those are the ones where like geared towards streamers and stuff. Like if a streamer was playing Stadia and streaming at the same time, he could it would be it was supposed to be extremely easy to add people to the stream. Like if people who were in the chat wanted to like join them in a multiplayer game, they'd just be able to click a button and boom, be in the game. Yeah. Or be able to incorporate people in the chat like more closely and easily in playing games and stuff. That's not going to be available. Stadia's achievement system. So, PlayStation has trophies, Xbox has achievements. Stadia is launching, apparently it has achievement support in it. Like, so as you're playing, you're going to be getting achievements, but you won't get any notifications that you're getting them, and there's no way to be able to view them. That's not coming until later on either. So you can't track any of your achievements that you get in your games. The ability to use existing Chromecast Ultras to play games. So one of their biggest selling points, if you remember correct, like remember back when we first covered all this stuff, it was supposed to be playable anywhere and everywhere. On your phone, on your laptop, on any like Google Chrome browser, which is what I'm using right now to view these websites.
On the screen of your Ring doorbell?
Not there.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what they said.
And on your Chromecast Ultra devices, which is like the little dongle that plugs into your TV and that you use for like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, stuff like that. Well, they announced just last week, which less than a week from launch, they're like, oh, by the way, if you already have a Chromecast called Ultra, you will eventually be able to play Stadia, but at launch, the only way to play it is if you use one of the ones that ships with your Founders Kit pack, like in the mail, which that doesn't make any sense to me because all it is a software update. All they have to do is put out an update for every Chromecast Ultra, in the world, but like over the internet. But instead, they're saying, sorry, you're going to have to wait. You can only use the one that you'll get in your little package from Google within the next, that's another thing. A lot of people didn't get it day one, like they'll be getting over the next couple weeks, which is another huge hiccup. Come on, Google. So people are pissed about that. Family sharing will not be available either. So if you have your account's broken up into a parent account and then you have your kids underneath you, the parent buys a game, they will not be able to share the games with their kids. So you will have to buy a game multiple times if you want your whole family to be able to play together.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Okay, you have laid out so much.
That's not even everything.
Horrible things.
That's not everything.
No, I get that. You've laid out so many horrible things, but tell me the one thing that can save them of all of this negative crap that Stadia is coming out with this week. Tell me they've got Fortnite. As long as they got Fortnite in the bag, there's this huge amount of people thinking, no Fortnite. Google Stadia, what the heck were you guys thinking?
Yeah. So the last thing here that's not going to be included at launch, and this seems like kind of a big one, because the whole point of buying the Founders Pack and being able to play early here in November 2019 instead of next year, because starting next year it's going to be free for everyone. If you wanted to jump in early, for $130, you got the Chromecast Ultra. You got 3 months of the Google Pro or whatever it's called, Stadia Pro. You also got 3 months of Stadia Pro for a buddy, which that's another, I forgot about that. Buddy passes don't work at the beginning too. So say I got my Founders Pack and I wanted to give you the buddy pass, it wouldn't work for you. Like you wouldn't be able to, at least not initially. Like it says you have to wait. It says it's going to take a couple weeks after launch until you'll be able to, use your buddy pass for 3 months. And then let's see, what all did I say so far? We have a Chromecast Ultra. We have your Pro. You have your Buddy Pass Pro. Oh, and then a controller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of their main selling point. They're selling these controllers. Google Stadia controllers connects directly to the Wi-Fi and directly to the server. So it doesn't have to bounce through your devices and anything. It's supposed to be the least amount of latency, blah, 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 blah. The big selling point is that it's wireless and it uses Wi-Fi and it's supposed to be super fast. Well, apparently, not only are they delaying deliveries, like I said, because they don't have enough controllers for everyone, but at launch, you can only use it wirelessly if you have a Chromecast Ultra, and specifically a Chromecast Ultra that you get with the Founders Pack, not one that you already own. And then on top of that, so yeah, you can only use it wirelessly there. So if you want to play Google Stadia games using your laptop or using your phone, you have to plug it in. You have to use a USB-C cable, USB-C to USB-C into your device. So it's your wireless controller, which was the huge selling point, is no longer wireless. Isn't that insane?
It's horrible.
Everything that they promised and it was like, this is going to be like number one, we're great.
Yeah.
And that up until 1 week ago, they have been preaching it as if this is all coming at launch. And then literally last Wednesday, like, oh, actually, so yeah, things aren't going to work out the way we thought they were. It's actually going to be like this.
Who are we to complain? But I will say this in relation to this. They shouldn't have made the announcement that they were coming out so early. They should have pushed it off. It should be a little bit later. They're not ready. Just like with the Days Gone, jumping the gun.
Okay, my only
now
thought
you have
with
egg on your
that,
face.
my thought with that is, I think they had every right, and I think they were right to come out now. I think it's fine that they come out now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is they, like I said, marketed it as if this is it. This is the launch of Google Stadia. This is it. Like everything was going to work here and everything's going to be good. If they had marketed it as a beta of some sort or an early access, I think that would have forgiven everything. Because that's what xCloud is doing right now. xCloud is actually currently in private betas. Like if you can go and sign up and they're picking people to play xCloud. xCloud is currently working right now, but only for certain people who are getting selected to play it. And from what I've heard, like xCloud has a lot of jank too. Like things are crashing on people and they're not working. They're working great, but not like perfect. But people are okay with it and they're not up in arms about it because they know it's a beta. They're testing it. I think if Google Stadia said, this isn't a Founders Pack, this is our beta, or maybe they could have still called it Founders Pack, but you are buying into our Founders Pack you're paying $130 to beta test this for 2 months, 3 months until it officially launches January, February 2020. But I think because they came out marketing it like, no, this is it. This is our launch. This is our big moment. And then they just crashed and burned. Yeah,
it's definitely not a good position to be in. I wish them the best of luck. I don't want them to fail. I would love for this thing to work because I was genuinely excited when they came out and all the announcements that they made. There's a lot of really positive stuff with Google Stadia's whole setup. With the infrastructure that Google already has and with the technology that they're trying to put out there, I think they've got a bright future. But this isn't really good right out the gate.
No, not at all.
There's a lot of egg on their face.
I was earlier I was telling you too, IGN put out a video of like 15 minutes of gameplay on Google Stadia or something that you can watch. Just them like with a camera on their little phone. They were playing on a phone and then they did a phone, laptop, and a TV. So you could see it in 3 different versions of it essentially. And I was watching, and when he was playing on his laptop, he was playing Destiny 2 using the Chrome browser with the controller plugged directly in. and they're at IGN, so I imagine they have pretty decent internet because all they do is YouTube videos, and there's a whole lot of data coming in and out of IGN. And right in the middle of the video, like he's like playing Destiny 2, like shooting some stuff, and the whole thing like freezes, glitches out, like lags, like big time, like for not just for a second. Because like when I was telling you, I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare remote play down in San Diego, my PlayStation was here in Modesto. I had a couple little like boom, like just literally like a snap, and it would lag, and that was it. This was full on like, oh, you could have counted like to 5 Mississippi or something, like 1 Mississippi. 2 Miss. I'm like, that's bad.
Yeah.
Like, so right off the bat, like there's performance issues. Like at a place that I imagine has incredible internet, and they're in San Francisco, which I imagine is very, very close to one of the hub servers for Google Stadia. And then they're having like lag issues. It's like, this is not good.
So I got to say right now, popped down my head, how pissed are the people who literally bought the Founders Pack for Google Stadia for their kids for
$130
Christmas?
$130.
They're like, ooh, I can't wait. And like they're hearing all these news articles come out right now where they got the Google Stadia Founder Pack sitting in the closet and waiting for Christmas for little Jimmy or Georgina, whatever, no offense or nothing. You never know. I could totally see it being a situation where somebody's getting that for Christmas and there's going to be a huge letdown.
Who knows?
Huge letdown.
Maybe by Christmas everything will be buttoned up. Like that would be ideal.
Here's to hoping. They just fix up whatever the issues are.
So I feel like it's more of a crappy situation for those using it now. Like people who get it at Christmas, like hopefully they have their act together by then. But I don't know. We'll see. And then there's been a bunch of reviews that have come out on some. A lot of the bigger sites, but I just wanted to touch on this let me see here. Yes, a review on The Verge by Sean Hollister. The headline, Google Stadia review, the best of the cloud gaming is still just a beta. And then the subtitle is a beta worth waiting longer for. So I'm just going to read some snippets here that I felt like kind of stood out to me. And I recommend just go give them a read over there. Go over The Verge. It was a pretty good one, review over here. But Google Stadia works. That's what you came here to find out. And I won't bury the lead. On Tuesday, November 19th, Google Stadia will launch a cloud service that truly lets you play big budget games without disk or downloads, consoles, or gaming PCs. That's because Stadia lets you stream the games you buy on servers in the cloud. And it's more reliable than any service I've ever tested in a decade covering the technology. If you're expecting it to look or work as well as a high-end gaming PC or even a high-end gaming console, or if you're hoping for a killer app, you may come away disappointed. But the overarching reaction I had while playing Stadia was the same I have with half-decent headphones. I'd happily keep playing it if I wasn't already spoiled. So that's just right off the bat, like such a bummer, because that was the other thing they're preaching is because Google Stadia, like the device itself is in these huge server farms, like it's going to have all these teraflops of power and it's going to be beautiful 4K gaming and all this stuff. And for him to say it doesn't even look near as good as any high-end gaming PC, or even it doesn't even look as good as a high-end gaming console, like that's sad. Like it doesn't, like for it not to be, because I mean, high-end gaming PCs, they can be pretty powerful, but it should at least be better than like an Xbox One X. Like, and apparently, according to him, it's not. And if you go to his article, I like I said, recommend go over to the Verge and look for the Google Stadia review, because there's actually picture comparisons. He took a screenshot from Tomb Raider when he was playing. I believe this is on his iPhone, which even on the iPhone, it's supposed to be in it's supposed to have 4K textures. Not it won't necessarily be in 4K resolution. It'll have 4K textures. And then there's a picture side by side with his gaming PC, which only has a GeForce GTX 1080 video card, which is a pretty good one, but there's a lot better graphics cards out there now. And it looks so much better on his PC. And like what I mean to say, so the top picture is from using Stadia, and the bottom picture is playing the game natively through like Steam or something. That's what I was going to say. So yeah, basically Stadia, even though they say it's 4K, it's not really 4K. That's one of the gripes. So he has like a breakdown of his review. He gave it a 5 out of 10, which is bad. The good stuff. It really works. Clearer picture than early rivals. Seamless transitions between PC and phone. The bad stuff. 4K doesn't look like 4K. The Chrome web version lacks fidelity. Gobs of features are missing at launch, and it doesn't work over LTE. So even if you have like an unlimited data plan, it will not let you use a data plan to play Google Stadia. You have to be connected to Wi-Fi.
Oh, no.
Which it destroys data. Like one of the things he said here is...
even if you have unlimited Wi-Fi?
Even if you have unlimited data plan for your phone, it will not let you use LTE data for it. So, yeah, there's a whole lot of bad stuff for Stadia. I'm interested to see what happens over the next couple of weeks, because my hope now, because this is a huge bummer, and I'm really glad now I did not spend $130 on this, because I was so close to doing it when they first announced it. Honestly, like seriously, I was just like, man, this sounds awesome. I'm in. This will be so cool. I'm really glad I did not, and because now I plan on just waiting till it goes free and then trying it then, because now that they know the issues that are there and what people are ticked off about, which is everything, but they now it's like, okay, now fix these things. You have a few weeks, you have a few months until it launches to the public. When it's free to play online. Let's get working on these things, because this is bad. This is not a good situation here.
I wouldn't want to be in the situation that they're in right now. They put a lot of money into advertising it, and right now it doesn't look real great on them. Here's to hoping they could fix stuff up. Maybe by the beginning of the year they might, have stuff tightened up. So let's not count them out, but it's not looking too good. They're on the ropes, kid. They're on the ropes.
Yeah. It's rough. Real rough. Let's see.
I'm kind of glad that we didn't waste the money on it right now,
I know. It's one of those like big, almost like sigh of relief. Like, whew, man, like that could have been real bad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we didn't spend money on that.
And did you hear they don't have Fortnite?
Yeah, because that's what we all care about here. Okay. The last news story. That's right. That's what I said. That was technically like 4 or 5 news stories all clumped into one big like marathon there. But so our next news story, last news story, is everything announced for Xbox One and PC at XO19. So if you didn't know, last week, I think it was like last Wednesday or Thursday or something, Xbox had their XO19 conference, which is basically their yearly, their version of PSX essentially. Where they get together. I think last year they were in Mexico, was it? I think it was Mexico, for XO18. And this year was in London. Met over in London, England. Shout out to our listeners from England. I don't know if we have any, but shout out to you guys. There was a few announcements that I thought were at least worth mentioning, because I know we have a lot of listeners who are huge Xbox fans, which is so crazy to me, because we are not Xbox fans. Or we don't have Xbox.
I wouldn't say we're like anti-Xbox or anything like that.
No, we're not anti, but we're just like, we don't play Xbox games. We don't talk about them because we don't have them. But we have a lot of listeners who are diehard Xbox, and they just like to make fun of us because we're such Sony ponies, apparently. Whatever that means.
Yeah, I know what that means.
So here are some of the highlights. This comes from, I'm using a highlight article from Kotaku by Chris Kohler over there. So Obsidian's Grounded enters early access this spring. The next game from Obsidian is all about sandbox survival. You're a group of kids who've been shrunk down to tiny size and have to survive in a suburban backyard and not get eaten by spiders or whatever else might destroy a tiny 1 centimeter person. So basically, it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
The video game.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
And that is coming to Xbox Game Preview on Xbox One and PC this spring. Don't Nod is coming out with a game called Tell Me Why. It will be available this summer. The creators of Life is Strange is back with another story-driven adventure game created in partnership with Xbox Game Studios. Tell Me Why stars a pair of siblings, one of whom is a transgender man. The studio has worked alongside the advocacy organization GLAAD to deliver what it calls an authentic representation of the trans experience. A 3-episode game will be released in full this summer on Xbox One and PC. Rare's Everwild will probably come out at some point. I like that.
It'll eventually be here.
Yeah. It'll come out sometime. The next game from the storied developer of Sea of Thieves Anticipation is called Everwild, and that's all we know about it at this point. So look forward to that, I guess. Final Fantasy games and more are coming to Game Pass. I'm really excited for this. I don't know if they're coming to PC Game Pass, which that's actually what I'm more interested in, because obviously I don't have an Xbox. Yeah. But Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 10-2, 12, all the 13s, which I know that sounds crazy, but there's multiple Final Fantasy 13s, and 15 will all be on Game Pass by the end of 2020. Also arriving at some point in the big wide window are Streets of Rage 4, My Friend Pedro, The Witcher 3, and there's a bunch more, I guess, that were announced that they didn't list out here. Microsoft will also bring xCloud game streaming to Xbox Game Pass next year. So starting next year, you will be able to use xCloud to stream Game Pass, which will be pretty cool. So in that case, I'll be able to play games on my phone, games on my computer, games on my TV, maybe. We'll see. It'll be pretty cool. The Yakuza series is finally coming to Xbox One. Yakuza 0.
That's what everybody's been waiting on.
Yeah, Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2 are all coming to Xbox One and will be available on Game Pass in early 2020. The original Kingdom Hearts are heading to Xbox One. Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8, meaning pretty much everything. They're also dropping a demo for Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox One today. That's really cool. I really enjoyed the Kingdom Hearts games, the earlier ones. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 that came out. Was that this year or last year? I don't even remember now.
It was 2019.
But yeah, it was a game that people waited 10 years for or something. It finally came out and I didn't even touch it. But I enjoyed the earlier ones. I had a lot of fun with those. So it's kind of cool that Xbox, because they were always PlayStation exclusive. So that's a lot of these things. A lot of the Final Fantasy games were PlayStation exclusives until they came to Switch. A lot of them came to Switch now. Yakuza was PlayStation exclusive. Kingdom Hearts, PlayStation exclusive. So now all these Japanese developers are bringing their games over to Xbox, which is really neat, because Xbox up until now has not had very much representation from those Japanese developers. It's very much an American company with a lot of American video game studios making games for it. So that'll be kind of cool to see what that means for Project Scarlet. Will some of those Japanese developers start, bringing some cool stuff to the Xbox?
Because Xbox doesn't have any cool stuff right now. Is that what you're saying, Garrett?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
That was at G Morlang on Twitter, just in case anybody wants to say anything negative.
Halo Reach is also being added to the Master Chief Collection for console and PC on December 3rd. Very shortly, you'll be able to jump back into Halo Reach on your Xbox One if you own the Halo Master Chief Collection. It'll also be the first game to launch in the new PC version of the Master Chief Collection. So on December 3rd, apparently Master Chief Collection will be launching on PC. So for the first time ever, I think, you'll be able to play Halo, all the Halos, like Halo, all of them that are included in the Master Chief Collection. I think it's 1, 2, 3, Reach, ODST. I don't know. There's like 4 or 5 games.
Reach is right before 4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how you know that, but I'll take your word for it.
I'm guessing. I could be making it up completely. I think that I'm correct on that.
Okay. Yeah. So
Don't quote me on it.
I think it's like all those. Pretty much all of the Halo games are going to be part of it, and they will be available on Game Pass on December 3rd. So I'm actually excited for that, because I still have Game Pass on my PC. I did the deal. I feel like every couple months it's like about to expire, and then they'll get an email like, "Hey, there's a new deal. Pay $1 for 3 months of Game Pass." I'm like, okay,
done.
I'm in.
You got to get me in on one of those cool deals like that.
You don't have a computer. Get a computer.
Can I borrow one?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't have one to let you borrow.
You're rich, Garrett. He lives in a mansion on a hill.
Yeah, I wish. But yeah, I'm excited to play some Halo on my computer. At least some of those later games, because I played 1, 2, 3, and Reach, but I never really played anything after that.
You can't just take the one out of your butler's room and let me.
No.
What?
It's my butler, so it stays in his room.
Okay.
Wasteland 3 will be available on May 19th, 2020. Sea of Thieves next update's coming November 20th. Nexon's Kart Rider game is coming to Xbox. West of Dead is a twin-stick top-down shooter from Raw Fury. Bleeding Edge will be available March 24th, 2020. There's a lot, guys. The next game from the developer of The Flame and the Flood is coming to next year to Xbox and PC. Last Stop is coming to consoles and PC next year. Planet Coaster, console edition, is coming summer 2020.
There's a lot of stuff coming out.
And then the last thing, more games and features are coming to Project xCloud. Devil May Cry 5, Madden NFL 20, Tekken 7, and many more games are being added to Microsoft's game streaming service, which is currently, apparently it's in public preview. But again, you have to be selected, I think. I think it's only working on Android devices, if I remember right, currently. That's why I wasn't selected, because I just have iPhones. In certain territories. Oh, so it's only in public preview in certain territories. I don't know if US is one of those. Next year, Microsoft said it will bring the service to Windows 10 PC, which I'm excited about because I have one of those, and support more controllers like the DualShock 4. So you will be able to play Xbox, like xCloud games with a PlayStation 4 controller.
That is what Xbox people have been wanting for years.
Yeah, right?
For years. Literally, they have waited to be able to play with a real controller. You know, like the DualShock. Man, good on you, Xbox. Finally going to make it happen, huh?
A real man and real woman's controller, you know?
Right? You don't want to have that thumbstick over in the wrong area.
Yeah, it's like they have broken thumbs or something. Like, why do they want their thumb way off in left field?
You want to have them down about... Both of the thumbs on my hands are in the same position right here,
Exactly.
aren't they?
Yeah.
So when I do that, look how I do it.
Yeah.
I do it really fast. You see how fast I do it?
If I want to play an Xbox controller, you got to like break your thumb to reach it.
That's weird. I'm not going to break my thumb.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's weird.
We're not thumb breakers. Well, except for that one. Except for that one time.
Except for that one time.
Well, it was at Long John Silver's, and the line was really long.
Man, I haven't heard that in a long time. Long John Silver's. Oh, yeah. All the ones in where I grew up in upstate New York shut down.
Yeah.
Because they were dirty.
There was only
gross.
There was only one here in this town in Modesto where we're at. There was one for the longest time, and it was right next door to my favorite bookstore. And we would always stop there, and I'd say always. We maybe stop there and eat at Long John Silver's once every 6 months or a year, and it was like a big deal every time they go in because I just love that stuff. Hush puppies, fish sticks, yeah. You know that you're literally clogging up 2 arteries every time you walk in the door. Without fail. Just opening the door, 2 arteries clogged, fully, 95 to 100%. And they tore it down and made a Starbucks. And
that was probably for the better.
There's only 704 other Starbucks in town. And I love Starbucks. There's so many
Starbucks in Modesto.
I love Starbucks. I don't want you to think that I'm like, bad-mouthing them or anything, but it was one Long John Silver's. Get the heck out of here.
Yeah, but anything you can get at Long John Silver's, you can go to like your local grocery store and buy in the freezer section. You know that.
But you're missing out on all the grandiose. There's like pictures of cool pirates on the wall. You don't just get that over at any grocery store's frozen section.
They were always so dirty. At least the one near us, like you'd walk inside and everything was greasy and grimy and slimy and like everything had a yellow tint to it. And I don't know if that was on purpose. Like I know their color scheme was yellow.
That's from smoking inside for years.
And that's what it looked like. It looked like they had like 100 smokers in there for about 30 years.
Yeah, it was just smokers inside is all that was.
Disgusting, but... Alrighty, well, that's it for the news.
Man, that was a jam-packed news, man. Google just kind of dominated everything this week.
It was a lighter week for news, but there was a lot about one topic. Like, yeah, we got a jam-packed news for Google because they're launching this week and they decided to drop all their bad news a week before launch. So there we have it. Let's get into new releases here then. Last week, we had Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition on PC, November 14th. Pokemon, I tried to say sword, but I was going to say it. I mixed the word sword and shield together. I almost said shord. Not a word.
Sword.
Definitely not a word. Pokemon Sword and Shield came out November 15th on Switch. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on November 15th. And Shenmue 3 is coming out November 19th. Or came out November 19th for PlayStation 4 and PC. That's it.
That's a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah.
I heard
a lot of stuff that came out.
Yes.
So what you been playing?
So glad you asked, Garrett, because it's the time when we talk about what we play. So I've been playing Star Trek, The Last Order.
Yeah.
The Star Trek game is pretty good. Let me tell you something. What?
I hesitated to let you play the game because I'm like, this is the last person who's going to give any craps about this game. Like, you're the last person. Yeah, you're not the Star Wars guy.
I said my days are to stun. Is that
your
that
days are to stun?
Yeah,
I like that.
Isn't that what you do on Star Trek?
I think so, but I've never watched Star Trek, so I wouldn't know.
Hans Zimmerman or
Zimmer.
One of the
He played.
What's his name? Luke Skypimple. Yeah. I play. I'm good. I played all that. No, you know what? This week, actually, without joking around, I ended up getting an opportunity because of the good people that support us on Patreon. We were able to pick up a couple of games this week, and so we picked up Star Wars, The Age of the Fallen, or what do they call it? Age of Ultron. Yeah, that's it. Age of Ultron. So it was Star Wars Age of Ultron. And
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
That's what I said a second ago. And you know what? Fallen Order is amazing. I can't even make fun. I can't talk trash. I mean, I can. But I loved the game. It's super colorful. It's very, very big. When playing this game, you're seeing visuals and sights you've never seen before, seeing huge airships come blowing past you, and you're standing there and you're feeling the air thrusters from the ships blowing you, and you're like the controller's like shaking all over the place as this huge ship is flying into the scene. Dude, it is so gorgeous. And I'm having so much fun getting to explore this world. It actually makes me want to watch the movies.
That's awesome.
No, it's not. It means that I've gone full on dork and given up on life. No, hold your golf clap.
Proud of you, JJ.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game. If you guys get a chance, pick the game up. I wasn't going to give it a chance, but Garrett said, hey, we're going to pick up some games. Is there any games? And he said, hey, what about trying this? It'd be great for you to talk about it. And I'm really glad that you did, because I wouldn't have given it a chance. And it's just been a really fun game. I've gotten a couple of hours in. I've got a lot more to go. But it's beautiful and it's fun and
That's awesome.
It's so different from what I'm used to.
So how's the difficulty in it? Because that's what I've heard from other reviews is a lot of people are actually comparing it to a Bloodborne or Dark Souls, where the combat is actually very tricky, where it's a lot more, where previous Star Wars games like Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2, it was very much hack and slash. You just ran in there and zoom, 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 zoom with your lightsaber, and you're chucking it across, and it swings out and it comes back to you, and all this stuff. And it's just chaos, and you're just like hacking and slashing and killing everything. In this game, I've heard it's a little more slow and methodical, and a little more like Soulsborne type, like a Dark Souls game or Bloodborne, where you got to be a little more strategic, and then the enemies are a little trickier, a little harder. Like you almost have to like figure out, okay, when am I going to dodge? When am I going to roll? When am I going to block? Is that kind of what you've run into playing it?
Timing is definitely part of it. You're not going to, it's not necessarily a hack and slash. When I first started playing the game, I think I would have probably described it as being similar to Batman, or like a Spider-Man, and essentially just thinking, all gameplay when fighting against bad guys is kind of the same. They're all kind of similar. It's you using your, coming up and fighting them. When you're in a third-person perspective, they all kind of look a little similar. The gameplay isn't hugely different. From what I've seen of Bloodborne, it is similar to that. You would feel the weight of like a sword. As you're going to swing it, you're going to feel the weight of that, and it'll carry you, and you'll feel like the throb of everything, and it feels realistic, as opposed to just you're hitting a sword.
Which is interesting with your comparison, because in my mind, like Spider-Man and Batman are just like mash. Like what I do, I just hit the button, and it's super fast paced. Where
You can't actually do that with this game. It doesn't.
So it's not like because you just said it's similar, but I guess I'm not seeing your comparison there. But maybe more with the AI, the way the AI responds a little bit.
Very much.
Okay.
That's exactly it. Is exactly the AI. You know. I truly enjoy it. It's a beautiful game. It's been a lot of fun. I look forward to more of the story. But the story that I'm getting so far, even though it's only a little bit, is very good. And I'm a story guy. And it is hard. I put it on easy. Don't tell anybody. I put it on easy because I don't want the super challenge.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to have the story and to be able to talk about it on the show. And if I made it, too hard, I'm not gonna have fun.
Yeah, I've heard some people who are playing on like medium or hard and stuff, like the combat is like so stinking hard for them. But it's like they're like it's rewarding, it feels good, but it's like it's difficult. Like they don't make it easy on you. So I'm really excited for you, and I'm really excited to play it myself. And a few weeks when I finish Death Stranding and when I finish the game I've been playing this weekend, and the reason I couldn't play Star Wars is because Pokemon Sword and Shield came out. Yep. JJ's favorite. He just sunk under for all you audio listeners, JJ just sunk underneath the table. He's like completely gone. He's
gotta be kidding me, man.
So I got Pokemon. I chose Sword over Shield. I'm not one of those rich folks that can afford both of them because they're $60 a piece.
Oof.
So I just got one because they do have, that's the big thing, is they actually had a double pack. And in my head, I'm like, oh, it'll be discounted. Like if you buy two of them in the same pack, it'll be maybe $100 instead of $120. No, it was still $120. They're still going to charge you full price for both games. It just came in a nice convenient box with both in it. I'm like, what the heck?
Wow.
But they have different Pokemon. They have different gym battles and stuff like that. So that's the perk of having both, so you can experience the full game and be able to trade with all the different Pokemon and stuff. But I've played 5 or 6 hours this weekend of Pokemon Sword, and I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Of course you have a lot of fun. You play 5 damn hours of video games. Who does that?
I'm really enjoying it. I have not touched, I forget who I was telling the other day, but I haven't touched a Pokemon game since, or mainline Pokemon game, I should say, since Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire.
You told me that last week.
Yeah, and I was like in middle school or elementary school. It was a long time ago. Like it was back when they came out, so I don't remember what year that is. But excuse me.
It was 1997.
No, definitely not.
2007.
2002.
Told you it was 2002.
So I was in November 2002. That would have been
when I got married to my wife.
4th grade.
Years
I was
ago.
in 4th grade. Yep. I was just a wee little lad. But
4th grade.
I remember saving up. I bought.
My kid was born the next year, Garrett.
Yeah, that's crazy. I remember buying. I had a Game Boy Color for a long time, and then my brother got a Game Boy Advance, and I was super jealous of him because he could play all the new games and I couldn't. So I saved up for a while and ended up getting the Game Boy Advance SP, which is basically the Game Boy Advance, but it flipped open like almost like a flip phone, and the screen was backlit, like it had light in it, where the original Game Boy Advance wasn't backlit, similar to the old Game Boys. So I was like, yeah, I'm so cool. I'm better than you, little brother. Like I got my Game Boy Advance SP, and I bought a copy of Pokemon Ruby. Anyways, that's my little history in Pokemon. I haven't played one in so long. Like I don't know. It's one of those things where obviously I'm a huge fan of it, and I talk about it all the time. And any of you could have been like, you're a fake Pokemon fan because you haven't played one in 17 years. But you guys didn't know until now. And now that I've played Pokemon Sword, it's too late. You can't say that.
Now you can't.
Because now
you got technicality. He's able to get out of getting beat up, getting his underwear pulled up his butt. Dude, have you had that done in a long time?
Not a long time.
Because we could probably do that on air.
No, that's okay.
That would be so awesome. Here's what we're going to do, folks.
No.
For our next anniversary, we're going to give him an atomic wedgie. Do you folks know what an atomic wedgie is? Google that stuff. You know what? Better yet, YouTube that stuff.
No, don't.
There is some awesome stuff on YouTube. Atomic wedgie.
Jeez. I am moving on past that. I am super enjoying Pokemon Sword.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, obviously going from like 2D pixel graphics to like a 3D world where you can actually like spin your camera around, like it's open world Pokemon game, essentially, like way more open world than what the original one felt on like, a Game Boy Advance console, handheld console. A lot of people, there's been a lot of gripes. Actually, last week when the reviews first came out, people were pissed. Apparently, it was missing features, like graphics were not good, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's complaining. But for me, like a lot of those people had played a lot of the 3DS versions, a lot of DS versions. Having not played since Ruby, I'm like, this game is amazing. Like, this game is perfect. Like, I wouldn't want any, like, I don't need more. Like, I'm extremely happy with this. This is a huge leap from Pokemon Ruby. So for me, like I am enjoying every second of it. What's cool is, well, every game that comes out, every mainline game, there's a new generation of Pokemon. They add like 100 to 200 new Pokemon essentially. So this is the 8th generation. So there's like technically over like 800 or 900 Pokemon. I think in this game, and that was one of the big controversies, is they don't have all. I don't know why I'm pointing down there. I think my Switch was down there. I had my Switch console down there, and now it's not, so I keep pointing. My Switch is now out there. I was starting to look like,
what are you pointing at?
My Switch is out there now because your son's playing it.
Oh, is he ever? And he's probably changing your name on there and probably locking you out of your own Switch.
Probably. But one of the big controversies was they actually cut a lot of Pokemon, so it doesn't have the full Pokédex. It only has a small selection of Pokemon from the previous generations, which honestly I'm fine with. Like it kind of has like the greatest hits from each generation. Mm-hmm. So when I last played it was Generation 3. Now they're in Generation 8. That's 5 generations of Pokemon that I've never even seen before. So for me, every Pokemon is new, except for like obviously those older ones. So, which is a lot of fun because I've heard some people be like, it's all these Pokemon. I already know these, blah, 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 whatever. But for me, I'm like, I don't know this one because I haven't played in 17 years. Like, I don't know this one. That's really cool. This one's really fun. I really like that one. So the sense of discovery, the world, like I said, is huge. I'm loving how in the old game you would walk through the tall grass to catch Pokemon and fight Pokemon, but you couldn't see them. You just walk through the grass and all of a sudden the screen would start flashing and then boom, like Pokemon would be like, you're being, attacked by whatever Pokemon. In the new game, before you even get in that, battle, you can see them like roaming around the world. So you get to choose, like you can actually go after them. And so it's no more like random encounters. It's very much like, if I want to avoid them, I can, or if oh shoot, I need that Pokemon, I'm going to run after them and try to catch them and then battle them and, catch them in the Pokeball and stuff. And I don't know, there's a lot of like quality of life things they've added that I'm super enjoying. I'm having a blast. The thing I'm saddest about most is that it came out a week after Death Stranding. Because I'm definitely going back to Death Stranding. And then I'll probably play Pokemon later. But 100% I'm having a blast. And if you have a Switch, like, get this game. And if you get this game, let me know because hit me up because I need to trade for Pokemon, especially if you get Pokemon Shield because like I said, there's some Pokemon in Sword that you can't get on Shield and vice versa. So there's a few people on Twitter, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you saw I retweeted something. There's some guy who's like, hey, I have this Pokemon. If anyone needs it, anyone who has Pokemon Sword that isn't able to get it and wants it, just let me know and I'll send it to you. So like we swapped friend codes and then we did a trade and I sent him like some crappy Pokemon and then in return he sent me like this Pokemon that, you can only get on Shield, which is really cool. So you can still have it in your game, you just can't catch it in your game.
Oh wow.
So and the purpose of that is to build the community, kind of bring people together and stuff. But yeah, it was just super cool to have that ability to do that and kind of.
I'm so glad you had to play that, man. I will make fun of you today, and I will continue to make fun of you for playing that game. And then I got to play the Star Wars games. So it's like we get to play all this awesome stuff. I do want to share real quick about the Star Wars game that after I said to my wife and my son Lee, I just shared with them that I've got the Star Wars game. I'm going to be playing it, and I'm going to be playing it tonight, guys. So get the heck away from the Fortnite because Garrett will hit me if I do not play. So they were like, okay, oh, wait, Dad, did he buy the game? I'm like, yes, he did. Oh my gosh. Do you know that if you buy the game, you end up getting a free skin for Star Wars on Fortnite? Oh my gosh, tell him, can we get the code? Dad, call him. I'm like, I'm not going to call him. This is my wife and my son that were like getting me to like call you. And so I called you and I was like, hey, I know this is silly and I'm sorry for calling and bothering you about something so silly. Mr. Morley. But do you happen to have a skin for Star Wars for Fortnite? You got some code for buying the game, and you're like, yeah, that actually is for PC only.
If you bought the Star Wars through the Epic Game Store on PC, you get a free Stormtrooper skin for Fortnite.
Yeah, and I backed out of the room slowly with my head bowed, and I prostrated myself. I'm sorry, sir. Sorry. And you were very gracious to not smack me upside the head for asking about Fortnite skins and stuff like that. So thank you. Thank you for your compassion.
No worries. Yeah. I just feel bad for how upset your family must be now. They're just in mourning now. They don't get the Stormtrooper skin. I think it's still available to buy, right?
You may or may not get a flaming bag of dog poo on your door.
Cool. Awesome.
And that may or may not be for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, what do you say we get into the question of the show here?
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is one that I expect you to have a good story for.
Okay.
Because I'm sure this 100% applies to you.
Okay.
Now we'll see. This comes from Derek Peterson. He sent it to me through Instagram DMs. And like we've said it previously, if you guys are on Instagram, if you're on Twitter, or if you want to send us an email, you can go to our website and use a contact us form. Send us in your questions because we're running low on them. So he DM'd me and asked, what's the longest either of you have ever trekked on a longboard? And if you don't know what a longboard is, it's a long skateboard.
I've never been on a long skateboard before, but any skateboard, the longest I've ever trekked on one, the longest I've ever ridden a skateboard, maybe like around 3 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it?
That's all.
Oh, that's lame.
We literally have a skate park maybe a stone's throw from my house. And my kids like to go over there and mess around. Yeah, I've never been on a skateboard other than like putting my foot on it and then kind of like pushing and not really taking my foot off the ground. Oh, heck no. I would never like push it that hard where I fall. No way. No, I don't. It's not for me, man. I'm not a dancer. I'm not quick on my feet, so none of that kind of stuff. I'd fall and break everything. Like everything.
That's the last thing I need, yeah.
Everything.
I imagine in a full body cast, like
pretty much.
Arms up, legs up, like spread eagle.
Like that.
Like this. Yeah.
Drinking from a straw.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So would you believe me if I told you I went 30 miles on a longboard one time?
No. There's no way in hell you went that long. No way. Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Really?
100%.
Why would you travel 30 miles on a longboard?
Me and my buddies, we wanted to go visit a friend, and in our head, she lived a lot closer than she really did.
Oh, it was for a chick. Now it makes sense. Yep. I got you now. But I still don't believe it. There's no way you did 30 miles.
It's 30 miles. I'm telling you. It was crazy. I mapped it on Google Maps and everything.
Okay, that's to be believed. You can't believe everything you read on the interwebs. Look, I just don't. 30 miles, though. I mean, look. When you tell a story, when you exaggerate something, let me tell you how it's done. Okay, so here's what you do. When you tell a story, you make it sound somewhat believable. Okay. So when you're
Did I go a little high with the 30 miles? A little much?
Way too high. Okay. So when you're painting this beautiful Picasso of bullcrap, right? When you're just like, you're throwing it out there, this is gold right now. This is so thick, but not too thick. You want it to be like a nice, thin crust on the outside of bullcrap, right? Okay. And then you want like a nice, I would say like a lasagna. Like I think of all the bullcrap that I create, it's like a lasagna. It's a pie.
Lots of layers.
It's lots of layers. It's like, we're talking like it's like an onion, of lasagna. Does that make sense?
I'm getting the lasagna thing. I'm actually really hungry now.
I now want lasagna. I don't know how that works, but
what if I could call someone to collaborate the story for me? 100%.
Somebody who would like lie for you on air.
I mean, maybe. What if they don't know I'm calling? Maybe they don't know I'm calling.
Are you gonna call Trudy and say, Trudy, can you tell my friends on my podcast?
No, I'm gonna call my buddy who was there. My buddy Derek,
Mr. Morley.
the guy who wrote in the question, Derek. He only reason he asked the question was because he was there.
Oh, he was there.
He was there.
Okay, so
Are you?
yeah.
You think we should give him a call? Will you believe
If
me
you're
then?
willing to do it
Will
on
you
air,
believe me then?
I'll believe you if he says it, but I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
If you're willing to do it on air, if you're willing to and him go, I don't know, man, it was maybe like 15.
I can't go in the other room. Okay.
Right, and here's the deal. You can't edit that out. I don't want you to edit it to where you clip
sorry, we
this
dropped
out.
the call.
yeah, or you clip this entire segment out, and it's like, oh, we have no question of the show.
Yeah, weird, strange. That's okay.
I would like for you to look like a fool.
Okay.
When your friends is like, dude, it was like 4 miles. Stop being weird.
Yeah, I wish it was 4 miles.
Yeah, it might have felt like 30.
The next 3 days, I wished it was 4 miles.
You're like, dude, it was so hot. It was like 112. And he's like, dude, it was like 63, bro.
Okay.
We went like 4 miles, and then like your mom picked us up and we went the rest of the way.
Let's see what he says then.
And who is this?
This is Derek Peterson.
Derek.
He supports us on Patreon.
DP. Nobody calls him that.
Maybe they do.
I want people to call him that now. So on the phone, Derek Peterson. If Derek will answer, he's going to be asked to corroborate or collaborate a lie. Corroborate.
Well,
what's the word we're looking for?
Maybe he's going to make me look like a dummy here.
Yeah, he's not.
Call has been forwarded.
All right, so he didn't answer. So Derek, unable to answer the phone at the moment, which he knew because Derek is a Christian man. He knew you were going to try to coerce him into lying for you right now. And I want you to know that sin inside of your heart, man, it's just not good. It's like a poison inside of you. You just need to stop lying. Stop being a liar. Stop with the lie. Oh, you're calling him again? Dude, give it up, home skillet.
I need you to believe me. I need you to believe me.
Over.
I need you to know I am not a liar.
Garrett, I'm aware you're a liar.
Hey, Garrett.
Oh, hey. Is this Derek?
Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, I'm
Hey,
here.
check it out. Okay, Derek, what's up, man? What's up? How's it going, brother? This is JJ of the Super Gamer Boys. You, dude, are live on the air as Garrett is telling a tale that is so large that even me, in the midst of all of my BSosity, I think that's a word, I'm not really sure, that even I was like, oh, Garrett, come now, 30 miles. So the thing is, he believes that he had a trek. I think what happened is you're going to tell him right now, check it out, dummy. It was like 4 miles, if it was any at all. So he's saying he went on a skateboard.
Remember
longboard.
that one time we longboarded for like 30 miles? It was like, I don't know, it took us like 6 or 7 hours overnight. Like we started at like 10 o'clock at night. You remember this?
Oh, my feet still hurt. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Garrett.
Bringing back some bad memories.
Yeah, it was like 33 miles.
33
something
miles?
Like that. But, yeah, no.
Derek, you jumped on the line and you added 3 miles to the lie. Jeez.
No, I've got the blisters on my feet from like 6 years ago to prove it.
Oh, wow. So the way that
Garrett
Garrett told Derek, the way that Garrett told the story was that the woman, the young lady, was so buxomy that you guys had to go the 30 miles because nobody would have believed how large they were. Is that accurate?
Man.
You're on the air. Everybody can hear you, Derek Peterson.
Yeah, I want to lie. I don't remember. Why did you go there, Garrett?
We were going to visit our friend Stephanie, and we believed she lived a lot closer than she really did. And it was you, me, and Mike Schaefer and Bryce and Eamon, our buddies.
You guys coerced that many morons into going that long?
Yeah.
So in my head, she's got to be very bosomy, like extremely bosomy. It's like, I mean, like huge, you know?
You can't say these things, JJ.
No, I already did.
Okay. But no, yeah, and the even stupider thing is, well, it was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Like we started late.
Derek, you can't see him right now, but his hands are held out huge in front of him like the boobs are giant. This is uncomfortable because we're on camera, brother.
I'm uncomfortable.
Derek's uncomfortable. Okay, but yeah, it was a long night. I think what was it? We got back at like 3-4 in the morning or something. It was early.
Man, I think the scariest thing about that whole thing was not that my feet didn't work for a month, but like the entire night there was no traffic. It was like we had every road to ourselves. Like we were bombing hills.
We took all back roads. Yeah. So no street lights, no street lights, and no cars.
Wow.
Yeah. And then by the time we got back to school, like downtown, Milwaukee, Waukesha, like it was time for everybody to go to work. So we're like pretty much just drunk and tired, dodging cars. Like,
not drunk and tired, drunk and tired.
Yes, I understood.
Exactly.
Well, it makes no sense. 33 miles is a huge trek to go. Derek, I'm going to believe you because you're a gentleman and a scholar, and we know you would never lie. And I've got a picture in my head of the biggest, bosomiest, like just amazing.
You can't say these things. I'm going to have to cut out this whole segment now because you're saying these things.
You can't do that. No, people need to know how large they were.
Oh, my gosh.
It's what inquiring minds want to know. 33 miles equals how much cups? What?
Okay. Well, thanks, Derek, for staying up till past midnight to
Derek, we gotta know.
Oh, no, man. All right, night, guys.
All right, good night.
Good night, Derek. Okay, so I won't call you a liar anymore.
Yeah, it was a true story. We went 33 miles. In the pitch black. That was a crazier thing. It was all back roads, so there's cracks, crevices, holes, potholes.
Oh, man.
We couldn't see anything. So like there was a few times you hit a crack and you're just off your board on the ground. Like
I honestly have not ridden skateboard, but when Derek was talking about his ankles and feet hurt, literally I got the feeling in my ankle like, oh God, that would hurt really bad. Like just pushing for that long and like
no joke.
No way.
We were idiots. Like there's nothing. Yeah. There is nothing.
It's an adventure. It's something you can talk about now on a world famous podcast that people listen to all over the
world.
All
famous.
Over the world.
how stupid we were.
Well, it's listened to in the whole world. So yeah.
It is true.
Derek, thanks, man. That was cool.
Thanks for answering our call. Yeah, I looked at the time. I'm like, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it's after midnight for him. He's East Coast time.
Dude, you're the worst, friend.
But,
you're the worst. Garrett, you're the worst.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, he's texting. He just said, so lucky I answered. I was out. So, yeah, he was definitely asleep, and we woke him up. I hope that was worth it.
Yeah,
I hope you all enjoy hearing the story about.
So we're gonna have to Facebook stalk the chick, the Stephanie chick.
No,
just because we got to figure out because people need to know.
No, we don't. We don't need to talk about that anymore.
People need to know.
Well, that's all we had planned for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's Facebook stalk.
No, we're not gonna look up Stephanie on Facebook.
Okay, I'm gonna find her now. Stephanie on Facebook. Jeez. We're gonna figure out, and we'll let you know next week, folks. What size?
So thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for skipping those last 5 minutes. I'm sorry I had to bleep some of it out, but
please don't.
I'm just gonna put a disclaimer and just skip 5 minutes ahead now.
Man.
Thank you guys so much for listening, though, each and every week. Remember, if you didn't know already, you can always go over patreon.com/supergamerboys, support us over there. As I mentioned earlier in the show, both incorrectly and then correctly, supergamerboys.com/store. You can buy some sweet merch like our mugs here, like t-shirts, socks, apparently, that some people have purchased. They never reached out to us. So
are they the toe socks?
They're not toe socks.
We should get some toe socks.
That would be great. And each toe has our face on it.
Oh my gosh. Like your face and then mine?
Yeah, just alternate back and forth.
Dude, I love it.
That'd be great.
Love it. I wear that stuff.
You can also rate and review us. That helps us a ton. Preferably 5-star reviews. That would be, ideal. But you can
go onto your wives' or your husband's accounts or your significant others or your neighbors. Go into their computer and then like us on their sites as well.
Yeah, go to Apple Podcasts. That helps a lot. And then let's see, during the week, if you really want to find us, want to talk to us, interact with us, send in your questions to the show, go to supergamerboys.com. Twitter, we're at Super Gamer Boys. Instagram, same thing, at Super Gamer Boys. Facebook.com/Super Gamer Boys. On Twitter, I'm at G Morlang.
On Twitter, I'm at JJ Purdom.
And also we have a Discord. You can go supergamerboys.com/Discord, and it's kind of like a live chat. So if anyone talks in there, it pops up on our phones, and we can interact in real time. But it's been real quiet the last few weeks. But I think it's getting in the holidays. People are kind of a lot busy, have a lot better things to do than talk with us.
That's true.
But the more the merrier. So dive on in, and we can all talk about what we're playing throughout the week or what we're watching. Which that's another thing. We didn't get to talk about what we've been watching.
And we've been watching some stuff for
Disney
a change.
Plus came out last week, so maybe next week that'll be like a topic of the show. If we don't get any questions, maybe it'll be like a full on topic of what we've been watching and what we think about some of the shows.
Absolutely. We just picked up Disney Plus last night, so I'll be able to talk about the one episode of Jeff Goldblum's crazy show that I watched about sneakers.
Watch right now. Everyone needs to go get Disney Plus, and everyone needs to watch The Mandalorian. It's amazing, and I cannot wait for the rest of that show. It's so amazing. It's so great. So go get Disney Plus and watch The Mandalorian, and then we'll talk about our thoughts on some of those shows next week, maybe.
Awesome. This has been fun this week. I'm so glad that you guys were here with us when I was able to tell you that I actually played video games for a chance.
Yeah, for a long time. Real quick, also thank you to Star Andrews for our logo. Check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics and Facebook.com/Ground Floor Graphics.
All right. So I guess that's kind of it, right?
That's it.
How do we normally end this thing?
Normally, you go on and on about you like ramble for like 25 to 30 seconds, and then you end with like your little outro, and then I say the thing I say.
I kind of want to do something different this time.
Okay, what do you got? What do you got for us?
All right, folks, thank you guys so very much for joining us right here at the Super Gamer Boys. And once again, keep in mind that I'm JJ, he's Garrett. We'll catch you next time.
We'll see you the flippity flop.
I like that was different. That was a little bit different, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Yeah. But like in a good way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Wait, that wasn't the official ending?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I just figured we'd go something a little different.
Okay. So are we going to end this thing now?
Yeah. Done.
Okay. We'll catch you all in the flippity flop. Was that different enough for you? Okay.